Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with the host Al Young, and we are here with the absolutely brilliant Indigo. So, welcome guys.
Hey, thanks for having
Yeah.
us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, my pleasure. So, guys, could you introduce yourselves and what you do within the band?
Um, I'm Ben. I play bass in the band and occasional backing vocals as well.
Hi, I'm Joe. I play lead guitar.
Hi, I'm Chris. I do drums in Indigo.
We can't hear you, Brett.
Brett.
Microphone's on.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. There you go. He's back. He's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gone again.
Is he gone again?
Yeah.
He's Brett and he does guitar and he does vocals. There, I'll speak for him.
Is that fixed, is it?
I
Yeah.
think we might be sit too far away.
Right.
Yeah.
I am the lead singer and rhythm guitarist.
Cool. So, guys, let's dive into this. As kids, what were you listening to?
I'll go first on this
Yeah,
one.
you
So, sort of like early listening preferences. I was absolutely obsessed with Guns N' Roses. Don't know why. I mean, I do know why. They're an amazing band, but then sort of you mature and then you become a teenager. You get into your punk. You get into a bit of like suicidal tendencies. You get into the Velvet Underground, stuff like that. So that's sort of where my music then went. Yeah.
I'll go in a second. I grew up in between like Britpop and like 2000s alt rock. I didn't really know which one I wanted to go down, but I grew up with a lot of that stuff, and yeah, but mainly just different branches of rock from the 2000s, and that led up to school and to now.
I'll go next. A lot of my family are like Rush fans, so I listened to a lot of Rush when I was a kid, and like some other like 70s prog bands like Yes and Genesis, that type of stuff. And then as I got older, I started listening to like more like classic rock, and then eventually it sort of evolved into like metal. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
When I was younger, I listened to a lot of like Metallica and Guns N' Roses and a lot of Iron Maiden as well. And then, kind of as I got older, I had listened to a lot of sort of punk and emo stuff when I was an angsty teenager, and then I kind of just got a bit heavier over time. Further through high school, I got resulted in listening to sort of Gojira and Slipknot and all that sort of thing.
Cool. So, who actually got you into, like, say, listening to Metallica or Rush or Guns N' Roses? Was it a family member, such as your parents, a sibling, or was it sort of like a journey through self-discovery?
I'll go first on this one again. My parents didn't actually they didn't watch much TV when I was growing up. So the only TV that they did watch was the news. So very often it would be like they would have like the music channels on like VHS or like your classic rock ones that you see on Sky or whatever. And I remember seeing the November Rain music video for the first time and just thinking about how cool that was. Even Alice Cooper with like Poison and stuff like that. I was just glue-eyed to that. So yeah, that's what got me into that first, definitely.
I'll go I'll go second. Honestly, I didn't really get anything from my parents or my family. My early, my music taste actually came from the WWE games, like the soundtracks for those. I remember hearing them when I was like 5, 6 years old, maybe older, and just thinking, yeah, because I mean, before that, my parents listened to like ABBA, and my dad liked the Red Hot Chili Peppers as well, which I liked. But yeah, I started playing those types of games, and that introduced us into like Skillet, 3 Days Grace, those kind of bands, like alt rock bands, and then I liked that, so I progressively went into a bit heavier. So like I think I got Slipknot from WWE as well, and yeah, it just went from there.
Yeah, it was my dad really who I got most of like the early bands that I listened to, like when I was a kid and stuff. It was mainly just from my dad, because he was like into all like the classic rock type stuff, and then my guitar teacher introduced me to the more heavier stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
It was massively my dad's influence that made my taste in music. You used to tell us all the time how when I was a baby, if I was screaming, crying, he would put a bit of Metallica on and it would shut us up straight away. And I'd sit there quite happily listening and stuff. And then my dad's always been massive into his music, so he showed us a lot of different bands and things to make sure that I had a good appreciation for it. And he was the reason I started playing music as well.
So you essentially had two dads growing up then, did you, Ben?
What?
Your dad and then James Hetfield.
Yeah. Papa Het, as they call him.
Papa Het.
Yeah, so out of all the bands that you've sort of like listened to over the years, who was sort of like the main sort of like influence to say, I want to do this, I want to get up on stage to say play drums or guitar or sing?
So in terms of like bands where I've watched them and they've absolutely blown me away, first one that comes to mind immediately is Queens of the Stone Age. They on like when they hit the stage, they are absolute rock stars. You know, like just the performance they give, the sound that they've. And I mean, they've had a list of drummers, but each one's just came in and absolutely like killed it. So like I've been obviously obsessed with like watching Dave Grohl play drums for Queens, and then more recently like John Theodore as well. Like he is the current drummer. He's absolutely killing it, and just watching them perform with the energy and the crowd reaction that they get, and you know, it's infatuating. It's like, yeah, okay. I'll never dream of being as good as this, but you know, I'll give it a go and die trying.
For me, I remember specifically I was listening to Animal I've Become when I was little, just from the WWE games, and I wanted to see it live. So I went on YouTube and I seen 3 Days Grace live at the Palace, and just the way that the control the crowd, and the way that the sang and meant it, and the passion in the lyrics and stuff. I just remember really, really, really wanting to do that. And obviously the sound, it sounds great, but just the way the stage presence, everything, that the passion behind it. I just remember looking at it and thinking, yeah, that's something I really, really, really want to do. And like Chris said, I'll never be as good as that, but I'll die trying. But it's not just 3 Days Grace. I branched off to loads of other bands, just like, but mainly it was the first band that I like watched live on YouTube was 3 Days Grace, and I just remember thinking I want to do that.
I think the first band that kind of influenced me to want to start performing live was, I mentioned them a bunch of times already, but probably Rush. Because like watching their live performances it's mesmerizing. And then probably in the more recent years, it's been bands like Dream Theater and Opeth. Watching them play live it's really inspiring. So yeah.
I think for me, it was. I remember one of the first bands I went to see live myself was Avenged Sevenfold, and I just remember standing in the crowd watching them and like hearing everybody sing along and all that, and just thinking, yeah, this is what I want to do. And another one was like watching a documentary on Queen when I was really young and seeing like clips from when they played South America and stuff, and just where Freddie Mercury stops singing and all you can hear is the crowd, and I was like, that's the dream, to hear thousands of people singing to songs that you've had a part in writing. It's like that's where I want to be. And like the lads have said, it's a ambitious dream, but you can only hope.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. So, were you in any bands prior to starting Indigo?
Yeah, I've been in a few bands. I filled in for a few bands. Been lucky to be like part of a few from like Teesside and whatnot, a little bit further adrift. But it was absolutely nothing like this. So I was playing in like almost like a rockabilly synth pop band, sort of trying to be like the B-52s, and then like I don't know, Daft Punk at the same time. It wasn't as organized as we are. No, I can say that for certain. It was sort of a just get on stage and see what happens. But like this is actually quite a refined product, so it's strange to be part. To be fair. I actually have written parts for once. So.
Cool.
Hi, so for me, it's an interesting one because Indigo's is the first band I've been in, and until recently, the only one. And it's interesting because it's actually been going since school. I was in it. I was in Indigo with Ben, and so I'll let him say like his side of it as well. But yeah, I've been in Indigo since school, really, and I don't remember. I don't remember being in any other bands other than Indigo. So yeah, for me, it's just been Indigo.
Yeah, like Brett says, me and him started Indigo when we were in school, and we had a couple of different phases. Like we were a little indie Brit pop band at one point, and then kind of evolved into what we are now. And I've had like a couple of different jam sessions and stuff over the years with mates and things, but I've never really been in something as serious and organised as what Indigo is now. Even back in the day, we weren't really as organised as this. We just kids didn't know what we were doing, but with this era of Indigo, shall I say, it's been really good, and I would say it's the first proper band I've been a part of.
Cool.
Yeah, Indigo's the first band I've been in. So
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. So, what has the band been up to, especially over the last 12 months?
Ooh. So, pretty much like from what Brett said. I mean, Indigo's been going for some time, but it hasn't really. I would say like started until about 8 months ago. When me and Joe actually joined the band. So we've just been trying to, it's been a passion project really. So it seems like we've got such a good chemistry together that like we now have like a book full of songs. We're great collaborators together, just going out and just having the best time. So whether that be approaching new music, whether that be in gigs, whether that be in anything, it's just been an absolute blast.
Actually, I remember it was around last year because we had a big a long gap where Indigo didn't really do anything. Like, it wasn't really a band anymore. And then I remember it was last year, me and Brett were at Download Festival together, and we made the decision at Download that we were going to bring it back, and we were going to, you know, move in a different direction musically and stuff. And then it just kind of, for a little while, was just jam sessions, trying to find the right sound, trying to find the right members and stuff. And like Chris says, as soon as Joe and Chris joined, it kind of took off from there. And like he says, it's been a passion project and a wild ride, but a fun one.
Also, in that time, we've released our first single, our debut single, "Greed." That's now out for anyone watching to listen to. Please go and stream it, please.
God knows.
But yeah, and there's like I said, with there is a lot more to come in the pipeline. It's just a case of fine tuning everything, making sure that we've got, you know, a good polished product and something that we're like 110% happy with, like we are with our single. We couldn't have asked for a better song to really start this whole thing with. Yeah.
Cool. We've got a couple of questions from the chat. We have Lisaboo. It's all the way in Canada. She asks, how did you choose the band's name?
Brett, do you want to take this one, or do you want me to do it?
So there was a song called Indigo You that I'd wrote, because before we were the kind of band we are now, we were an indie band, and we had a song called Indigo You, and the song's meaning, I think it was something like indigo being a way you can feel, because it's a mix of two colors. It was something to do with that, and yeah, it kind of stuck, that name. We tried, like down the years, we tried different names. I mean, can you remember some of the names we had, Ben?
I swear we were called Rusty String at one point.
Yeah, but that was a joke. Yeah, that was a joke. So we were called Rusty String for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But every time we changed the name, we would always, for whatever reason, would always somehow come back to Indigo. And I think when I chose the name, it was something to do with that song and like the meaning of that song, like how like the color makes you feel. Because a lot of people would think, oh, he's just named it because indigo is his favorite color. I mean, your favorite color is purple, but it was more the meaning of that song, and I just named the band that. It was only when I first picked it, it was actually temporary, but it just stuck. Yeah.
I remember it was just we kind of needed a name, and it was just, well, our main song's called Indigo. We'll go for that.
Was it not? Was it not for? Do you remember the school? So in our school, every year you'd do a school concert. I think most schools do that. And we needed a name. Like the school was pushing us for a name. Like, oh, we need to introduce you to something. So we were just like, well, we haven't got a name. And if I remember correctly, correct us if I'm wrong, we were still called Rusty String, and we didn't like it. So we were like, oh, we're just gonna be called Indigo and just go do this show as Indigo, and then we can change it later. And we just never did.
Cool. Lisa Booth just said, I love that. Thank you. Love the name and its meaning.
Thank you very much.
Right, we've got another question from Jessie581, who's in Australia. She asks, what comes first when writing a song?
Who should answer this? Because
Right,
songwriting.
I'll let you take that because you do a lot of the writing.
Right. So the way writing usually works in this band is I'll write the bass song on an acoustic guitar, just vocals and guitar, and then I'll give it to the band, and Joel adds some like lead licks on it. sometimes actually, sometimes Joe takes something I've wrote and he changes it quite a bit, and it ends up being better. That's happened quite a few times. I'll give them the song, and they all write their own bits, and we just add things to it. But how it usually starts is I'll be obsessed with a set of chords for a few weeks, and then over time I'll start humming something, and over time it molds into like a song, and then I'll give it to the band, and then we'll all add our own parts onto it, and then we've got. But we actually when we write, it all sort of like falls together, and we actually when we write a song, it usually happens quite fast.
Cool. Thank you for that, Jesse. Could you tell us a little bit about the song "Greed"? Why did you write it, and why did you sort of like release it as your first single?
Who wants to go?
Well, it was
You can answer the meaning part. You can answer
Right. Well, the meaning. Well, when I was writing the lyrics, it's sort of like without getting too political, it's sort of like a scream for like a complaint song, because we're living in a world where the systems they're not working, and you know it works it's they're not working, and people are angry about it, and a lot of people feel as if they're not heard and nothing's being done about it, and it's more of like a protest song. Again, not getting too political, but it's a song somebody can listen to feel heard, you know, when they're not happy about something that's going on and they feel as if you can't do anything about it. It's a song to listen to relate to people and make them feel like they're not the only ones who's not happy, you know, and they're not the only ones who feels the way that they feel. It's a protest song, just a song for people to relate to.
Cool.
it was
in terms of why we picked it first musically, it was in the first sort of group of songs that we'd written as a band. It'd been an idea kicking around for a while, like Brett had said, like he jammed it on his guitar, Joe like a little lead bit, and then it was given to the band, and it just it happened.
Just sort of fell into
Everything
place, didn't it?
everything fell into place, and I'm pretty sure in one practice session, which would have only been about 2.5 hours, I mean, it was like 95% complete. I mean, everyone like in the band's a collaborator on songs, so like we'll all just pipe up with ideas and always run through them. Everyone's heard in the band, so if we think, oh, actually, you know what, in this bridge section, this is what we could be doing. This is what we could be doing. We could be then going down to half time, bring it back to full time, and then we think about like sort of what that then does to a crowd live, what it does to the listener. You know, it just fell into place so quickly. And then when we looked at our bank of songs and we were like, right, we need to come out swinging. It was obviously Greed. It was just it was obvious.
And a lot of the time, like we're full of like you said, we're all collaborators in the band, and we're constantly coming out with ideas. It gets to the point where like we'll be like rehearsing like the day before a show, and we're like writing stuff before the show, and we'll have to be like, right, we've got a show tomorrow. We need to stop like writing stuff. Like we're always adding to stuff and always writing. Like there's no shortage of songs. Like a lot of some artists, like you know, the struggle to get stuff out and the struggle to write stuff. Like there's no shortage of songs, because we'll pop them out by accident half the time.
We'll probably have to go through and cut a few, really.
Yeah, we've got loads. Like I say, we make songs on accident. Like yeah, I mean, a few of our songs that were like on our set now, this just fell out of the sky. Like we didn't plan on writing them. They just happened. They just came.
Like even for example, last night we played a gig at the Globe in Newcastle, and just before we started playing Greed, which was the last song in the set, Brett actually had some technical difficulties with his guitar or whatever it was, and then just between me, Ben, and Joe, like I mean, we don't tend to noodle like between songs. We try not to, just because of how it looks and whatnot. But like we felt like we needed to fill something in, and we did this sort of jam. And I hope all of you have remembered it because it sounded really good.
Yeah, I remember being like,
a new
thank God.
song.
I remember being, thank God they've done this, because I felt like everyone was looking at it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, the Globe in Newcastle's a pretty good venue. I've been there a couple of times.
Well, that was our first time playing it last night, and we've got to say it was a class venue.
It's a good crowd.
Yeah, it was a great crowd, and especially for a Tuesday night.
You know.
Yeah, can only just thank everyone for coming out and supporting local music.
Yeah, true. So, as you said, you're constantly writing. Is there going to be sort of like an EP or possibly an album later down the road?
Chris, should you answer this?
Oh,
Should I answer this?
Go on then. Okay.
Okay. Who's going?
I'll go.
Yeah, you go.
Without giving too much away, without putting all our cards on the table. Like we've mentioned previously, there's a lot of songs that there's a lot of polished songs, and there's a lot of fan favorites we play. So all I would say is, watch this space. Watch this space.
We've got stuff coming. Yeah.
Stuff's in the pipeline.
Yeah.
But please do bear in mind that recording's expensive, so give us some time.
It definitely can. It definitely can be expensive.
But stuff is coming though. You won't be deprived.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. We've got a couple of more questions. Jesse 581 asks, any plans for gigs or tours in the future, money permitting?
So we're playing a fairly big gig at the Grove in Newcastle on September 6th, I believe. Which it's kind of a sort of celebration of the local bands. There's a few bands on the bill, us headlining. It's just a great night to celebrate local bands and support the local scene, sort of thing. As for tours, I'll let somebody else take over on that one.
For tours, we would absolutely love to tour, and I think we will tour. Maybe like we're looking at like in the future, so like next year or something. Not to lock it in or anything, but like we'd love to. I don't know. I think she said she's from Australia. I mean, if you can find a venue for it, we'll come over. We'll come over to Australia and we'll play a show for you. But we'd love to tour. We will have talked about doing like a UK Northeast tour, maybe even go like past Leeds. But it's only been like talked about so far. But it is something we want to do. Whether it's a Northeast tour or a UK tour, it's definitely something that we'd love to do, and we probably will do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Obviously, with like finances permitting, would you sort of like go down to Australia or over to Canada or the US and in Europe?
Would we?
We'd need a couple of merch items to be bought in order.
Yeah, we'd need a couple of pound signs in the bank for that. But we would. I'd love to.
Of course.
Yeah,
that is quite literally the dream.
Yeah, that's like
and then be like, oh, I'm getting on a plane and we're hitting up North America for 5 weeks, or we're going down under. You know,
Listen, if they want to find a venue for it and then they want to, pay for a travel, then we'll come. We'll come play a show for you.
yeah, we're available for birthdays or anything private.
Yeah, we'll
we're
come
available.
over. But as
Yeah,
far as like,
come see we're in Melbourne, yeah, where ticket prices were plane tickets to get over there.
as far as like touring and like stuff in America, yeah, that's probably later down the line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ozzy says, thanks so much. Sounds awesome. And Lisaboo says, love to have you in Alberta, Canada.
Wow.
I would love to be in a bit.
Yeah, we.
I'd love to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd love
you'll
to.
whack that one on the list.
That's something we could actually add to the rider. Some poutine. I'd like to try that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm up.
true. Yeah, cool. Got a question from Lisaboo. Speaking of gigs and tours, do you have a favourite venue to play at? And do you also have a dream venue you love to play at one day?
I'll let one of you go first so I can think.
I'll go first. I think possibly like shouting out to Northeast venues. I think some of the best gigs that we've ever played have definitely been Downcast Studios.
Yeah.
A lovely little independent sort of rock club. Really love the work that they do over there, and they are absolutely spot on. The crowds that we've had and reception that we've had over there is spot on. In terms of like a dream gig, I wouldn't say no to playing at Red Rocks in Colorado in America, nor would I say no to the Las Vegas Sphere either. But yeah, I think that's probably a couple of EPs away.
Yeah. For me, I mean, favorite venues, but definitely Downcast. Downcast is probably been our best show, and then also the Bunker as well. The Bunker was really, really good. The Bunker's in Sunderland. So the Downcast and the Bunker are the ones that stand out for me personally, and then the one for me that's really, really good with local music is Little Buildings as well. That's another good one. As far as dream venues to play, now mine's a weird one. Ever since I was little, for some reason, I've always wanted to, and it's not very big, but I've always wanted to play. I've got a few. The Think Tank, yeah, that's since I was little. I don't know why. The Think Tank, for anyone who doesn't know, it's about the same size as the Grove. It's not that big, but I've always wanted to play there because it's just it's a great place. And in terms of big places, I'd love to play the Palace. I'd love to play the Palace. Obviously, the first of a live show that I'd seen was 3 Days Grace. On YouTube, I should say. I'd actually go. Was at the Palace, and I'd love to do a full circle and go to the Palace after Think Tank.
Yeah, and just for anybody who's not from Newcastle and doesn't know what the Grove is either, the Think Tank it's kind of like it's a music venue only, but it's probably about the same size as a standard bar. But
like 350 capacity,
something like that. Yeah, but I think dream venue for me. I mean, obviously the lads have already pointed out what some of our favourite gigs have been that we played, but I think dream venue for me would probably be like Donington Download Festival, that sort of thing. I'd absolutely love to play a festival of like that sort of size. It would be a dream come true for me.
So Download, if you're listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Catton Park as well for Bloodstock. I love that festival as well.
I mean, me and Ben have been going to Download for since we were teenagers. I mean,
yeah,
I'd love to play Download. I'd love to play Download. I think I'd cry if I got the call to play Download.
Yeah, I'd say my favourite venue to play at was Downcast. It was really good. And then Bloodstock, Hellfest, Download are my favourite, dream venues or festivals to play at. So yeah.
The dream, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock festivals.
But I mean, also shout out to all the other beasts independently owned venues.
Yeah. There isn't bad venues in Newcastle.
I mean, even I think we haven't mentioned it because it hasn't really set in, but the Globe that we played yesterday, absolutely Globe as well. Big shout out.
It's the first time playing it, and it was really good. Like I said, there isn't a bad venue in Newcastle. Like they're all really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So another dream one for me, just as an extra, as a local boy, I'd absolutely love to play St James's Park, the stadium in Newcastle.
Well, that's an obvious one, isn't it?
Sam Fender next year. You need some.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Give
That's one of the
Rochelle-
reasons why I want to play the Think Tank, because Sam Fender played there.
Yeah. Have you ever played the Trillions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're doing a battle of the bands for Bloodstock, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Metal to the Masses,
Yeah.
the competition to go slot on Bloodstock. We played there. It was a really good show. Really good crowd, and we unfortunately didn't make it through, but it was a really good crowd and a really good show, and we really enjoyed it.
It was still quite early into the band, wasn't it, when we done that? Yeah. But we'd love to play again. I would love to play. I think we will as well. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Cool. Would you ever come down to Sunderland to play a few gigs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've played the Bunker. There's a few more, and
We'd love to do the Peacock at some point. I've heard that's quite a good venue.
That is a good place. I've been in there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we've not played more in Sunderland, to be fair.
Yeah. Independent as well. Would absolutely love to play there.
Yeah.
That's another good venue.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in there a few times. Seen a good few bands in there. There's also the Point as well. I think that's got about 500-600 capacity.
Really?
Yeah. It's a big one. A big boy.
Yeah.
See, don't say stuff like that to us, because I'll get eager and I'll really want to play. I'll ring them tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'd have to get the yellow pages out and just ring everyone.
I mean, the Grove, where we're pulling every string to get people to the Grove. That's probably going to be our biggest gig yet, which is I think it's 350 capacity.
Yeah.
But if as soon as you tell me 600 capacity, I can just vision it. I can vision the crowd, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll ring them tomorrow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, one of my favourite venues in Sunderland is the Legacy. It's just up from the Point and the Independent. Unfortunately, that closed down a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, so yeah, it would brilliant little venue. But anyway, is there any other singles coming out anytime soon?
What can we tell them, Chris? What can we tell them?
So, like I said, there's a big catalogue of songs. There is a pipeline. There is a vision. There is a continuity plan for the band, and obviously that will involve a single. That will involve another single coming out, and said single is, I think, it's actually one of the most latest songs that we've written. But it was a case of, it was our last practice, I believe, where we put in some minor little tweaks here and there. We didn't realize, like Brett said, we work on songs like a day before a gig.
We weren't meant to be writing
but then it sort of came together, and we all looked at each. It seems like I'm describing a moment out of Bohemian Rhapsody or something, but we all sort of looked at each other and okay, right,
it was.
That's next. That is polished. So, we keep your eyes peeled for I don't know, maybe spooky season, let's say.
Okay.
Cool. So, is there any merchandise or plans on doing any merchandise?
Yeah, We're just looking for the right people to do it, and we want to get merch for the Grove, which is on the 6th of September. It's just looking for the right people to do it. Like quantity as well. We want like 50 t-shirts. That's what we wanting to do. We want to do t-shirts to start out with. We haven't looked into it yet. Like we'll say t-shirts now, but it could end up being beanies. But
Yeah, like we
yeah, we are looking at it. We're just trying to find like what to do it for.
yeah. That's the thing is like a DIY band like as we are. I mean, like every pound counts.
Yeah,
So like the priority was getting the single out, which can cost. But yeah, no, the dream for merch and everything is to, like Brett says, have the bog standard stuff like your t-shirts, maybe your hoodies, stuff like that. But then we also do want to have like a range of like things that are accessible to people. So like I don't know, guitar picks, lighters, stuff like that. Just like anywhere that maybe if someone's not fortunate to have the money to buy something like a t-shirt, that they can always feel like they're a part of something.
like with t-shirts are only going to be like a £5 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, we will lose money on the t-shirts, but we don't mind because we just want to.
We want people.
We want to give. Like for example, the Grove. We're doing a raffle at the Grove to win a guitar, like a stage use guitar, and it's £1 a raffle ticket, and you can come and you can just buy a raffle ticket and you'll be in with a chance to win a guitar. It's a lovely red SG, but I didn't mind letting that guitar go because I just want to give it to people who. I mean, we see some regulars at our gigs now.
Yeah,
we're recognizing a lot of faces, and we're really really grateful for them. Like we love them all, and we just thought it was a really good way of giving back to them.
Yeah.
And it's the same with merch. Like some bands charge like £15 for a t-shirt, and
more.
yeah, like. I want it, like Chris said, we want it to be accessible. Like when you're at a gig, especially younger people at a gig, right? Usually, if you're a younger person and you're going to a rock gig, you've probably asked your mum for 15 quid to go. Like, and if you go there and you're seeing a t-shirt for £15, out of the £15 your mum's just lent you, you're not going to buy it, eh? But if it's only £5, people are probably going to buy. It's more accessible to people, and it's more accessible to a wider range of people. And we don't mind on losing out on. We're not greedy, like although the song's called Greed. But I mean, we're not greedy in the terms of we don't care about losing money as long as it's good. As long as it's a good thing.
Yeah, if it's a good thing, yeah, like or like even trying to break even on stuff, So like. Yeah, I mean, like, there's only so many like set lists that we can print off and give out, and I'm pretty sure the people who keep asking for them are going to get sick of that soon. So they are probably itching for some merch.
There's some people that come to our gigs that must have about 6 of our set lists.
Yeah, exactly. Always like, can I have a set list, please?
Can I have your set list? Yeah.
And then it's trying to
sometimes sign them.
I was going to say it's trying to then get the band together to sign them as well.
Yeah.
So, when you're a bit further down in recording and releasing like singles or EPs, albums, such, is there any sort of like plans on putting stuff on the vinyl records?
What for people to buy?
Yeah. So that'll come under the whole merch thing again. Yeah. We do want to have like something that people can hold in the hands and stuff like that. I mean, like we do have people like messaging us daily, being like, "Can we have updates on what's happening next?"
Yeah, we do.
Can we know what's happening? Oh, I'm itching for such and such to come out.
We're itching to tell them, but we just can't.
But we would also love for them people to feel fulfilled in having like a vinyl or a CD or I don't know. Do people still use cassette tapes? They're making a comeback, weirdly enough. Could even have
Ben actually has Ben got a vinyl for he got it as a present.
It was my anniversary with my girlfriend. It was about a week after the song came out, and she got the song like pressed onto a custom coloured vinyl for me. So
But
I
that was quite
currently hold
expensive,
the
wasn't it?
only vinyl that Greed is on.
Yeah. But I remember because she told us about that, like to help her with it, and it was a secret. And it wasn't like, it's not something like Chris said, every penny counts. I think mass producing vinyls is quite expensive,
Yeah.
you know.
it can be.
But it's
So,
definitely something we'd love to do though, like
yeah.
all of it. You know, would love to do all of it. I mean, if it was up to me and I had the money, would have Indigo tea bags.
Yeah.
Would have yeah, you know, would have Indigo everything. Would have Indigo underwear. Like
Yeah.
if it was up to me, which it shouldn't really be up to me because Indigo
We'll end up like Kiss with just reams and reams of merch.
Yeah. Someone can actually pay to be your bass tech. Well, what was it? £12,000. Yes, please. That'll get to Canada, by the way. So
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, where can people find you on social media, just to keep up to date?
Chris just recently changed the name to the Instagram. What is it again?
So if you're looking on Instagram, it's going to be indigo.ncl.
And that's where we do most of our like announcements
Yeah.
and posts and stuff.
But
There'll be a Linktree on there as well to find on other platforms.
Yeah.
we have a TikTok, we have Facebook, and then we've got with Spotify.
I think
got
everything's in the
Spotify.
link. Everything's in the link tree, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
I believe
Yeah.
so, yeah.
But the main one we use is Instagram, and it's indigo.ncl.
Yeah, it's definitely where we're the most personal and like.
Yeah. We interact with a lot of messages from fans and stuff, and we do Q&As quite a lot on the stories. We're quite involved on Instagram.
Cool. So, guys in the chat, if you've got any more questions, please ask away. We're going to start wrapping things up in the next 5-10 minutes or so. So, any advice for people who want to become a musician, whether it be for their own personal enjoyment or sort of like going down like the commercial route?
My advice would be at the start, it's going to be slow. It's going to be slow. It doesn't matter who you are, unless you're Justin Bieber and you get picked up by Usher. But at the start, it's going to be really slow. But you'll sharp find out if you enjoy it or not. Very early you'll find out if you enjoy it. But if you enjoy it, then just keep doing it. Like it's really cliche to just say just keep doing it, but it is going to be slow at the start. I mean, Ben, when we started Indigo, I mean, we went years without having a gig. We were a rehearsal band, like we were a jam band for years. And when I say jam band, I don't mean like rehearsal spaces. I mean in my friend's house using a lamp as a microphone stand, and that's a true story. That's something that actually happened. Like we started with a lamp with a microphone taped to it.
Yeah.
So
I remember actually as well. Once we did a very small gig at just a little pub. I believe it was in Chesterley Street, where we got there and found out that Brett had forgot his microphone stand. So then I couldn't play the guitar because I had to become the microphone stand and hold his microphone up to his face for the night.
There's a video of it somewhere. But yeah,
I think I've got a photo.
It's going to be slow at the start, and it always is for artists, especially bands, because there's not as high a demand for bands now when there should be. But my advice would be, if you enjoy it, even the smallest venues are enjoyable for you. So just
try not to be disheartened by anything like not going right and stuff. It takes some effort and some persistence sometimes, but just try not to be disheartened by anything really.
We still mess up now. No.
Yeah. Well,
Anything to say from you boys?
sort of like for people like you said, getting into it commercially or whatnot. The best sort of things the best advice I can give is sort of look at your circle, look who you're playing with. Are they people who share the same values as you? Are they people who have the same goals and ambitions as you? Really sort of assess who you're in a band with before trying to do anything. I mean, we are so fortunate enough that we all talk on a daily basis. We're open about our goals. We can collaborate with the music side of everything, but then also the admin side of everything. So we're sort of setting ourselves goals. We're setting ourselves targets.
Yeah.
We're monitoring stuff.
But we're also friends. Like, we're not colleagues.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But we're always trying to find that next step in how we get there, and we're working as a team in order to do so.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you join a band and then I don't know, your bass player just wants to down a bottle of Jack Daniels and play a gig in a pub, and that's all they're interested in doing. Well,
you're in it. If you're in a band and you don't like each other, it's doomed to fail. Like, especially at the start. Like, I know there's bands out there where they don't like each other, but they're already famous, so they probably liked each other at one point. But if you're in a band starting out and you don't particularly like your guitarist, then just think when you get to the admin side of it, and like when you're with a record company or a management company, the fights you're going to have.
Yeah, make
like,
sure
we argue now when we like each other.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like. I remember I joined one band mainly because the bass player had a van, so it made it easier to go back and forwards to venues in. So
yeah,
yeah, like that mistake.
Don't try and take the easy route out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we lost someone.
Oh, he only plays bass anyway. He's not relevant.
Yeah.
I hope he can't hear
me. So great advice there. Great advice. So I'm going to start wrapping things up. So, have you got any final words before we leave?
Stream greed.
Yeah, stream awesome.
And come to a show, even if you're in Canada. Come to a show at the Grove.
Yeah, it's probably cheaper for you to come here than it is just to go there.
Yeah, exactly. And if you I tell you what, if you're still watching, if you come and see us at the Grove, we'll have a look at coming to Canada.
Exactly. There you go.
She's gonna rock up now. The thing is, she's gonna rock up now, and we're gonna have to keep by the promise.
Yeah,
play a little pub in Canada.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Yeah. Lisa has been said she might want to come over. So
this might if you come over, you know where to find her. You know where to find her.
Yeah.
Pay for your ticket if you were actually to come over. Like.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. So thank you guys for coming on and joining me to do this little interview. It's been a total pleasure.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thanks for having me.
What you do here, and I love that you're putting on local artists and giving them a spotlight. I was actually watching the interview that you did with Badger at the Globe. What a two-piece they are, by the way. Shout out to Badger. We'd absolutely love to play a show with them. I don't know if we'd totally match genre-wise, but they are, absolutely love what
we do want variety in my fan base, so
yeah, cool. Yeah, Simeon's a brilliant guy. Yeah, brilliant. And thank you for watching the videos. So, got a couple of messages from Lisaboo and Jess. Lisaboo, thank you so much for coming on, guys. Hope to see you live one day.
And we hope to see you.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you too.
Cool. And Jesse said, thanks so much for coming on. You're awesome.
You're awesome.
You're awesome.
So guys, again, thank you so much for coming on and for joining me today. It's been a total pleasure.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
It's been a pleasure, mate.
it's been an
Thank
absolute.
you.
So, guys, in the chat, if you haven't followed these guys, all the links down in the description. So please go check them out. These guys are absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, guys, until next time, we'll catch you all later.